Yo, what's happening? Episode 51 of Documenting the Journey. I think the channel future and the video I made yesterday just says it all. Like, I just want to do raw, chatty videos, talk about value, talk about stuff that agency owners and people that are in the space can benefit from. And I guess we can just sort of learn from one another. Obviously, I'm on your screen. You're in the comment section. Hopefully, if you have anything valuable to share, send it over in the comments. Share the knowledge, brothers. I mean, there's enough for us all to eat, I guess. But today we're going to talk about AI lead generation, and as a whole, the agency space really needed AI. I think it was going stale. I think running paid ads, whether it was TikTok, Google, Facebook, for the most part, lead generation side of things, it's pretty boring when it comes to the service delivery side of things. Like, there's nothing exciting, and I think from what I've seen in the industry, from obviously the sector that I'm in, which is home improvements, I think there was a lot of just stale attitude towards it. We'll run your ads and get you leads. Oh, okay. Well, I've heard this probably 1,000 times already this year. So what's sort of differentiating you? Yeah, well, we've got results and case studies. Okay. Well, so there's 10 to 20 to 30 companies in the space. What makes you different? Well, I've got a backstory of me being in the industry. Okay, right. It's a little bit of a different thing. Now you've got AI, you can come in and say, look, I can save you thousands of hours over the year, over the next 10 years, etc. You don't have to speak to another unqualified prospect ever again. How? Why? What do you mean? Okay, well, I've got an AI chatbot that will speak to these leads or these prospects across any channel, any communication channel, and qualify them. If they feel like they're qualified for the services that you provide as a company, then we can book in a phone consultation, we can book in a showroom visit, we can book in a home appointment, etc. Right? If you can put this across to a business owner, it is a complete different game changer. I think 2024 was the year where you could still get away with it just delivering leads, and I've still done this for most of my clients. I've just delivered leads. I stress the importance of obviously getting to them as soon as possible to obviously impact the fact that I'm delivering leads, but the results are varied depending on the client, I guess, contribution, whether they have a sales team, whether it's just themselves. Obviously, it will vary depending on the service, right, and on the business that you're working with. But for the most part, it was just sort of, yeah, we'll deliver leads, we'll deliver qualified leads, we'll pre-qualify them, maybe we'll jump on the phone and verify them, and then we can go the extra step and call them. But obviously, that's a very time-intensive task to do. So maybe let's do and look into AI. So I looked into AI, and for the most part, I think August time, maybe before then. July time, maybe I implemented an AI chatbot, and then I looked into AI voice calls. I think Go High Level introduced AI chatbots, etc. September time, maybe October, quite recently to be honest. But I've looked into that as well. There's so many different bots out there. So like over the past year, there's been so many different bots. Closer bot, Pointwise, obviously Go High Level's got one in house, I guess you could say, and it's definitely something that you need to implement when it comes to your agency. I think AI as a whole is on this massive upward trend, and obviously, as everything with the internet, if it's new, it's massive hype behind it. Everyone's talking about it, meaning business owners are talking about it, and if you can implement these things into your agency, you can position yourself like above everybody else, massively above everybody else, because most people will not be as advanced enough to understand these tools and have the understanding of being able to apply these tools in certain areas of an agency. Obviously, I'm speaking to people that are not very early on in the journey. Maybe you're already running an agency, maybe you're doing 2, 3, 4, 5K a month, whatever it is, revenue wise. I don't think it matters. If you've been doing it for fairly long time, you'll understand the constraints that come with just delivering leads or to a client, right? To whatever space you're in as well. It doesn't matter if you're med spa, dentists, roofers, renewables, whatever you are, right? Whatever you sort of service, whatever you cover, there will be constraints, and I guess it's just all about tackling those constraints. And I think AI helps massively. It helps you position yourself or your agency above everybody else. It's definitely a unique selling point at the moment, moving into 2025. Maybe 6 months down the line, it's going to be absolutely flooded with every single agency calling themselves AI lead generation and AI voice bots and chat bots and blah blah blah, and everybody's going to be on about it. Maybe you'll have to just position yourself and and have your positioning just completely different. Again, it's just down to the business, and that's what the marketplace is like. Everybody's after everybody. It's competitive, not to say it's saturated, but I think if you're doing well and you know what you're doing, you're definitely in a more competitive sphere versus just saturation and it's the same shit as everybody else is doing. So obviously when you're running paid ads as a lead generation agency, you can be doing it across most platforms, whether it's social, whether it's search, TikTok, Google, Facebook. Those are going to be the main ones. Most of them you're going to be running to a landing page. You'll have your funnel within that to a CRM, and then on the back end of that, most of us will stop the work. We've collected the leads, we've collected the details of the potential customer, someone that's interested. Off you go, business owner, contact them. Now, if you can take care of that for the business owners, that's a massive point where it's super valuable. It's saving a lot of time. It's definitely saving them a lot of money. When it comes to business, you're spending money or you're spending time. And a lot of the times when you're spending time, it's also costing you money, right? So obviously you want to just implement these things as quickly as possible and learn as much as possible about them. I think I'm not your guy to be educating you about AI. I've been running mine for probably about 5 or so months for 2 clients. I've tested it enough for me to be confident with it and to move forward on a bigger scale. So that's what I'm going to be taking into 2025. And I guess I'm just sort of revealing exactly what I'm going to be doing. But it's fine. It's 50 to 100 viewers on these videos. I don't doubt someone's going to go into my space and try and do the exact same thing as I'm doing. Everybody does it. The game's the game, I guess you could say. But if you've got AI chatbots, if you've got AI voice calls, etc., where they pick up the calls from different channels, whether it's Facebook, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's whatever. I think I've not really messed around too much with the AI voice chat. But I mean, from what I'm understanding, it can pick up the calls, inbound calls especially, and have a conversation with someone that's ringing your business, and they can answer the simple questions. If they can't answer the questions, they can book in a consultation, phone call, whatever, into a calendar. So it's pretty useful, right? I mean, if I've not sold you on it, then maybe just understanding that the lead generation space has changed massively will sell you on it, because it's no longer just about delivering leads. I personally don't believe that there are many business owners out there now that can't run Facebook ads themselves. Google probably won't be able to, just due to the fact that it's a little bit more complicated when it comes to running ads. But again, like with anything, you can spend up to 10 hours learning this stuff, and you can go away and be pretty decent at it. And obviously, with experience, with taking action, a lot more knowledge and experience will be gained, right? But that's not to say that most business owners won't already have spoken to marketers about Facebook or lead generation as a whole. Let's just say that, right? Like, most of us have already reached out to business owners, and I've spoken to plenty where they've been in absolute nightmare situations with agencies, being locked in, spending loads and loads of money, and quite frankly not getting anything back. So I don't doubt that my next client has probably spoken to tens, if not hundreds, of marketers about lead generation. But what makes us different is the AI, is the industry knowledge, is results, case studies, etc., etc., etc. So those are the things that you can sort of start piling up, right? And if you're entering this space in 2025 and you're thinking about entering this space, maybe AI is your sort of competitive edge, because not many agencies are focusing on it right now. There are people doing it, and obviously, as with anything, you will see that and you'll be thinking, shit, everybody's doing it. I'm too late. I promise you're not. I started my lead generation agency at the start of this year, and at the start of this year, I was seeing videos of YouTubers saying, oh, growth operating is the next thing. Don't start a lead generation agency, start this. SMMA is dead, and etc., etc., etc. Don't listen to that stupid shit. Just focus on your own shit, brother. I promise you, if you just focus and lock in for as long as possible and genuinely give it your all and offer a product to the marketplace, get feedback from the marketplace, whether it's shit, whether it's good, whether it needs improvement, any of that feedback, it will most likely lead to the fact that it needs to be improved, and just constantly complete that cycle of improving, new iterations, etc., etc. And eventually you get to a point where your product and your service delivery is at a good point where you can actually challenge the bigger agencies or the more established names in your space that you're entering. But that'll be it for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this sort of yap session. If you're new around here, drop us a sub, and I'll see you in the next one.